Hello, 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 and welcome to my 30K Q&A. That's a little bit belated, sorry about that. Over a month ago now, I asked you guys on both Instagram and on my community page if you had any questions for me to try to get to know me a little bit better, and you guys delivered. So I have quite a few to get through today. I'm sorry if I don't get to yours if you ask something. Just for time's sake, I'm doing my best. Last time I did a Q&A was for 1K, so that was kind of a while ago, and I remember I really planned that one out. I haven't had a chance to do that this time, so I'm just gonna kind of go through the questions as I go through them. Just have them all on my phone here. I even wrote them out last time I did it, but I've not had a chance to do that, so bear with me as I go through this kind of haphazardly. I'm doing soft-spoken today. Just one, to switch it up, and two, to save my voice for some other whisper videos. And let's get started. Okay, so I know a lot of people had this question, so I'm just going to get right out with it. So the first question is, what inspired you to start ASMR? I'm going to go kind of back and just talk about my journey with ASMR a little bit and how I got into it. And it's kind of funny because I actually got into it because of Twitter memes. So a while back, there's another ASMRtist, Life with Mac 2005, who had a lot of memes made on Twitter about her, and so I just thought that she was the cutest thing, and I didn't really know what ASMR was, so I went on her page. I was just like, okay, what is she doing? Why is it so funny to everyone? And I watched a video of hers, and I was hooked. So the first time I experienced ASMR was when I was in kindergarten. The first time I can remember, that is, was when I was in kindergarten, and I had an assembly where our principal was reading us a story. I can't remember what it was about, but I remember just feeling the tingles in the back of my head, and just being so relaxed. And I never really knew what that was until years and years later, I go and check out this girl's page and find out what it was. So ever since then, I've been using ASMR as a sleep tool. I love all kinds of personal attention ASMR personally, if you couldn't figure that out by all the videos I make. And it's just a huge part of my life now, obviously with the channel, but I still love to use it to relax myself. So I started my channel in May of 2020. So a little bit after all the lockdowns began. It's mostly just looking for a creative outlet, and ASMR was always something that I thought, that could be fun to try. I'd like to one day. And I've just kind of stuck with it. I still really like making videos, and it's a really good way to be creative. So that's kind of my story with it. So a lot of you guys also, I should mention, were super nice and just very supportive on my posts, just saying congratulations and that you love my videos, and I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you watching them, and you guys are just the best. So thank you also for watching this video. It's always crazy to me that people actually want to know about what I have to say and my own journeys. So it's very exciting. So like I said, I'm going to kind of skip around here. Charlie Harris on YouTube asks, what is your ultimate favorite video you have ever done? And so I saw this one a little while ago, and I've been having to think about it, but I think it's actually going to be one of my more recent videos, and it is the one where I'm doing a face exam on you and experimenting on you. So I believe it's called ASMR Face Exam and Secret Experiment, just because I really like playing that secretive character, but also combining those personal attention elements and all of my favorite triggers like glove sound and face touching and all the good ones. So, kind of going into that, TKJT54 asks, what's your favorite trigger? And if that's the one that always makes you fall asleep, if any, and what's the one? So, I have to say that I have two favorite triggers. One is personal attention. I love the caring for you type of videos where it's very kind of in your face, a loving vibe. But I don't like to use those to fall asleep to, just because you have to keep your eyes open. So my other favorite trigger is going to be the 3DO ear massage types of videos. And those ones I love to just close my eyes, drift off to, and feel super relaxed. So I also have Dalen Kingsley asks, what do your friends and family think of you doing ASMR? And so my family actually doesn't know. I'm going to have to tell them soon, just to, one, explain what I'm doing with my life. But I live by myself, so when I set everything up, I don't have to bother anyone or ask anyone to be quiet. It's just me doing my own thing. I do have a couple of friends who know. They're very supportive, but I like to think that as long as I'm not hurting anyone, they're very supportive people. So they're not necessarily into ASMR, most of the people I've told, but they really like that I'm doing something that I like and that I'm working towards something. I don't really have any goals, but it's just fun to keep going, you know? So, Charlie Harris also asks, oops, I lost my place, sorry. If you could travel anywhere, where would it be? So, I have the ultimate goal, hopefully soon, to travel to Iceland. It's just always seemed so beautiful there and so different from anything here in the US. And I think it was ever since I read the Pretty Little Liars book and Arya lived there that I was like, I want to go there. So that was a long time ago now, and I still want to go. And fingers crossed, hopefully sometime soon I'll have a chance, but I'm gonna make sure I'm traveling responsibly with everything that's going on. So I'm just hoping for soon. Let's see. Slim Jim on YouTube asks, how hard is it to keep coming up with new ideas? And it's not really that difficult to find ideas. I feel like I can find them just about anywhere. But the problem is ideas that I actually feel like I can execute and that I feel like filming. You have to be in a certain kind of mindset to film certain ones. So, like a very caring and nurturing best friend, I might not want to film one like that if I'm not feeling very cared for or nurtured myself, you know? So, just getting the idea to line up with the execution, to line up with the myself is the difficult part. Next up, we have, where are you from? This is from Ali Osman. Where are you from and how old are you? So, I currently live in Texas in the US, which is why I am wearing a tank top in October, because it is still super hot here. And I am 24. Next up, I have a question from Easy CPT on YouTube, and they ask, what type of music do I like? So, that's always such a difficult question, because I honestly feel like I like anything. But I have to say, if I am going on a road trip and making my playlist, it will definitely have a lot of 90s and a lot of early 2000s music on it. Just, I was young back then, but it's still kind of nostalgic. I don't know. So, asks any 80s or 90s? Yes, of course. I also listen to oldies all the way back from the 60s, just because that's the kind of music that my dad always would play, and still plays. So, it's just kind of always on in our house. And they also have an assumption, and that is that I'm very blunt in certain situations. I have a very feminine vibe due to my eyes, but they feel like I take no crap from anyone. I'd say that's kind of true. I guess that's hard to judge yourself. Obviously, you know, I like getting all dolled up and doing my makeup, so I'd say I definitely have that feminine vibe. But I'm sure somebody else asks about this. My day job is as an engineer, and those two are kind of hard to remedy unless you do have a take no crap quality. And my mom has that too. My mom can be a very determined lady when she needs to be, so I like to think that she passed that on to me in a good way. I'm not really sure though. Okay. Silver Angel 1 asks a couple of questions. So the first one is, what is my favorite movie? And I wish I had a favorite. I feel like whenever anyone asks, I say Interstellar, just because it's a fun, kind of dramatic movie about space and kind of nerd stuff, which I like. But it's still just a well done movie, you know? My fave YouTube channel, a couple of people asked this one actually, and I'm gonna cheat and give myself a little bit more time to think. So I'm going to limit myself to 5 other ASMR channels. I'm gonna link them down below so that you can check them out. They also ask if I am a Harry Potter fan. I don't know. I've read the books. I haven't seen all the movies. I liked the books, except I hated Harry himself. Felt like he's the worst character. Let's see. My favorite TV series. So, again, we're going back to kind of that early 2000s vibe. But one that I really love is Veronica Mars. So it's a Kristen Bell one. She plays like a teen detective, and it's also very dramatic and just nice and vibey from the 2000s. So it's a pretty fun one. That one was Joshua Hannah who asked that. I also really like Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's kind of my comfort series that I've watched way too often since they put it on Netflix. But it's just a good background show, you know? Okay, let's see. Grimcore asks on YouTube, what oil do you use in your hair? So, I went and grabbed it. I have just this Hask argan oil. There we go. And I really don't go through it that much. I've been using it for a little while. It just makes me feel very pampered and luxurious. And it doesn't smell too strong either, which I like. Of course, I'm only now learning about hair oil and different types of shampoo and conditioner, so I don't really know if that's a good recommendation or not. It's just what I use. Okay. Xavier Rios asks, how tall am I? I seem very tall. I'd say you're right. I know I don't look it in my videos, but I'm actually 5 feet 10 inches. Not sure how that translates to centimeters. I can try to look it up, but I don't know off the top of my head. It is taller than the average woman, though. I do know that. Unfinished Love asks a couple questions. One is, how many animals do I have? I only have Maisie, my little kitty cat. She is staring at me right now, wondering why I am not playing with her. And let me put a picture up real quick. They also ask about my other job. Like I said, I am an engineer. I try to say what I do without giving away too much, but I do risk improvement, so I go out to client sites and kind of do evaluations on what they could improve. Sorry, Maisie just hopped up on the bed. And it means I travel a lot, so if there's ever a time where I'm not putting out quite as many videos, that's probably what's going on. Next up, Harry A, sorry if I mispronounced that, has an assumption, or two assumptions it seems. One is that I like listening to calm music, which I'd say that's pretty true. I like listening to the Spotify coffee house playlist when I'm doing work, and I'd say that one's pretty calm. And one of my favorite artists is Aurora. I'm not sure who that is, so I'm gonna have to look her or them up right after this, and I'll get back to you. See, HKY, which looks like it's meant to be chonky because there is a cute kitty picture on their profile, asks, are you ever stressed that people won't like your video ideas? I would say yes and no. I'm always stressed that, I'm gonna make a video that people just hate, but I also know that I need to be true to myself as an artist and keep doing ones that I think are going to be fun to do. So I have certain ones that, I know that this video is going to perform well, but I really just want to do this other video, and finding that balance is super duper important in any kind of content creation, I think. Okay, now I have a couple of questions from Mr. Sunny D. And so he asks if I use contacts. And yes, I do. I wonder if I can zoom in really close. Can you see them? I'm actually just super blind, so they're just so that I can see. Otherwise, when I wear glasses, those are my real glasses. He posts, will I post vlogs soon? And I'm kind of interested in doing that, but I also don't feel like I do anything vlog worthy with my life, so that's a TBD. I would like to try it, but we'll see. Let's see. I have a couple of other questions on YouTube. One is from John Johnson, who asks, how long did it take you to edit the Christmas collaboration? And if you guys haven't seen that one, please go check it out because it has a lot of other great ASMRtists in it, and I always think collaborations are a fun way to find your new favorite. So maybe you'll be surprised. I can link that one down below too. But it took way too long, let me tell you. That one, the Christmas collaboration, I edited still using, what's it called? iMovie on the Mac, and iMovie crashed for me so many times, so I had to learn how to use DaVinci Resolve and just completely re-edit everything. Luckily, everyone's parts were amazing, so that part wasn't bad, just making sure that the audio levels matched and that they flowed together nicely was the hard part. So it really only took me a long time because it kept crashing, but I'm really happy with the final results. So, oh boy, that was just a process. Let's see. Temple Phoenix asks, which videos do I have the most fun making? Those, like I said before, definitely personal attention ones, just because it's a lot more fun to actually interact with you, the viewer, rather than just doing some trigger over and over again and getting a little bit bored doing it too if it's going on for too long. And which are the most difficult to make? I would actually say that the most difficult for me to make are ones with any kind of complicated storyline. just because I always plan out triggers beforehand and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be great. I know exactly what I want to say. And then you get into it and you kind of change your mind a little bit. Or your plan didn't last quite as long as you were hoping, so it might be time to freestyle a little. And it's fun, but it's definitely nerve-wracking when something like that happens. Let's see. Alan asks a couple of questions too. This first one is, what is my skincare routine? And so, before I tell you that one, I want to preface with, I am not any kind of skincare professional. I'm not a dermatologist. And my mom has good skin, so I feel like I was kind of thankful, blessed for that. So usually I wash my face day and night. I just use CeraVe cleanser. And then in the morning, I will usually put on either moisturizer or vitamin C serum, and then sunscreen. I've heard sunscreen is the most important part, so I make sure that I put that on every day. I'm not that good about reapplying it throughout the day yet, but I'd say I'm getting better, so. And then at night again, I wash my face, and then I'll do either a couple things. So I will either use a serum of some sort, and then the, what is it called? Great Barrier Relief one as a moisturizer, or I will use retinol and a stronger moisturizer. I wish I knew what products I use off the top of my head because I feel like that's always fun. I know my moisturizer I use is La Roche-Posay. Sorry about my terrible French accent. I'm not really trying. I'm just trying not to completely butcher it. But I just always am interested in what other people use. He also asks my favorite holiday destination. So that one is both an easy and a difficult question because I've never really spent the holidays anywhere other than with my family in Wisconsin, with all my extended family. So makes it easy. I choose there. Coffee or tea? If I had to choose one, I would say coffee, but I have more fun drinking tea. I drink coffee every single day when I wake up. I love having a nice, leisurely cup of coffee, but tea is just so nice to have in the afternoon to just sip and slow down and enjoy. Let's see. It also asks favorite animal. Definitely cats, although I think because of Maisie I am a little biased, unfortunately. Okay, so now I am switching over to the questions that you guys asked through Instagram. So, Articulate Design ASMR, shout out to him, asks, how does it feel to have become famous as just from helping people? With a big smiley face. And to that I say, I don't think I am. It's really exciting that, that many people want my help and that there is over 30,000 of you guys now. But I'm just still here talking to my camera, replying to comments when I can. I do feel the love, but I'm just doing my best, Though I do love the helping people part. Anaya X Chakravarti asks, do I like making ASMR? Of course, otherwise I wouldn't have continued for so long. And how is my setup looking? So, I have to say, I could definitely use some work. I have my black screen behind me that I use clothespins to hang up the lights. I can probably put a picture of it real quick too. But you're sitting on my comfy chair. And in front of me, I have a table with my Blue Yeti and sometimes some props. I have a water bottle here too. Obviously, I have my camera and a ring light. So I don't think it really is a bad setup. Just it's always exciting to get new stuff and be more professional. Let's see. PTF asks, what's my favorite song of all times? I'm so bad with songs. For some reason, my sister always, in good taste, but she would kind of make fun of my music taste growing up. She is 5 years older than I am, so it's just like, oh, my uncool little sister thing. We're BFFs now though, so don't hate her. But now I'm always kind of apprehensive to talk about music. I don't know if I have a favorite song of all times right now. I've been listening to a lot more podcasts lately than music, TBH. I have a lot of people who are asking for video requests, so don't worry, I hear you guys. I have always wanting to take into account what the viewers want. So, Kids Duggar asks, what is my favorite candy? And I'm really hoping that chocolate counts as candy in this case, because I love anything dark chocolate. But if it doesn't, then I guess I have to say gummy bears. I never get them though, so whenever I do, it's always such a treat. Rowan GS asks, what ASMR triggers have I not done but would love to try? That kind of goes back to the 3DO triggers with all ear massages and brain massages that you can do that I really, really want to try. So I think I just need to kind of bite the bullet and get myself a 3DO. But I'm kind of hesitant because a lot of people who have them don't love them. But I guess I like the triggers, then it's worth it, right? Let's see. Okay, so my last couple of questions are from Lee P. And he asks, what 3 countries would I most like to visit? So we already got Iceland. I'm also going to put Spain, even though I don't speak Spanish. So I might not do great there. And then I think I want to go to the other side of the world, and debating right now. I guess I would say China, just because it's such a different culture than what I'm used to in the US, and I just want to experience everything that I can, honestly, with travel. He also asks if I could live in a different time period, when would it be? That's such a difficult question. I want to say sometime in the future, but that's so hard because obviously we don't know what the future is going to bring. But I think it's so easy to romanticize the past and not really know or understand all of what was going on and how hard it was for people. I guess if I have to choose a historic time period, I'd probably do the Roman Empire at its peak. I still don't know, what rights were like, and obviously slavery was a thing there too, but we have evidence that it was so advanced and it was so different from things today. It'd be interesting to have experienced. And then his last question is, what sandwich filling would you describe yourself as? Obviously I'm gonna say cheese, because I'm always cheesing. I hope you appreciate that, because I just thought of it right this second. Anyways, I think those are some good questions to end on. So again, I just want to thank you all so much for submitting questions, or just, submitting kind compliments, telling me that you like my videos. It makes me feel so loved when I ask you guys for something and you deliver so well. So thank you for listening to me ramble a little bit. I've actually had a really fun time talking about myself, which I wouldn't have guessed. So thank you again, and I hope you're feeling a little bit sleepy now, a little rested.